Well, I mean, at this point, there's literally nothing I could do, man. The intensity of this stuff that been happening, it ain't doing nothing but increasing, man. Now it's to the point where they becoming like shameless with it. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the torture technology, all the way to the extreme harassment I get in my regular life. I've been getting like for the last 7 years, really. And now it's bold as it's ever been, and it's to the point now where, man, there's nothing I could do, man. The whole entire planet literally just folded on purpose, just so this one child can't live. Like, they literally folded on purpose. They stage events, organize stuff to have some kind of reason to have a problem with me. The injustice are involved in doing, they do these events, they do shootings, they do all kind of stuff, just in order to create stumbling blocks for my life only. I've exposed this since January, way back. For example, they do that kind of stuff. This, situation, they do things, themselves just to try to give other people a reason to be able to destroy me. So their favorite artists can steal my style and ideas. It's the same thing. It's the same agenda, same motive. They colluding. It's to the point now with, the harassment, and torture that's in my livelihoods is now the same thing that's happening with the torture tech that was implanted in my flesh, when I was like 7 or 12 years old. Between that, so they're using all of it together now, you know what I'm saying? So now it's becoming over the top. So that's the thing. God is not a man that he shall lie. At this point, if people, if the whole country come together and say, something of God is something of Satan, then it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing you could do. The foundation is broken, and it's just that simple. It's like pretty much the country has openly, said that it renounces God. And it's official. They got to take them. I've been saying it for years. They got to take them out the structure and everything, But that's what it is, man. I talked about the psychological attacks, they give you brain damage. They try to worsen your brain damage with all types of the little, and some people might mean well, but over a prolonged amount of time, all of it just, with them also forcing you, into exile and then eviction, out of your place. And then before, when you they try to force you into eviction, and then they telling you that okay, just for instance, just a few minutes ago, I just realized that the whole I get folded, like the world literally folded just so I can't live in the country or in the world. They've been organizing this the whole time, and that's what made me make this recording here. Because I realized that they I can do what I do, handling my business like every other average, hardworking American, and I have like tons and tons and tons of harassment of various sizes, shapes, just like trailing me and imposing exile on my life 24/7. Every time I start, you feel me, then they start like they follow me everywhere. The whole entire time they psychologically inflicting messages and all this secret stuff in the exile on me 24/7 non-stop. And then they did that this time, and it was so bad that it pushed me to have to it put me in a position of having to, take, I just had to, sit back and just look at this situation, and the moment I log on my phone, then they got this news post. I'm not subscribed to it all, and it's talking about how all the for instance, they attack the hotels. They got, and that's what the injustice are doing this actively. They're like white supremacist injustice system from high up all the way down. It's like a pyramid. They doing this. They've been exposed to the structures, to the whole world. They're still doing it. No matter what, they're still doing this crime on my life. They're like glue, like super glue. Nobody is prying them from me. Nobody's doing anything about it. And they do this kind of stuff. They've been doing this for years. That's why I pick up on it so quickly, because I've been through it so long. And that's what they do. So they realized that I just realized that that, you know, I mean, I can't, there's no way that I can maintain my livelihoods. You know, I can't maintain my, shelter, sustainability because of what's, you know, this organized campaign that I don't know who doing it, but it's happening to my life. And, it's driving me into a point where, I mean, I can't, just the toll of all this stuff, emotion, CPTSD and all this stuff that's already been imposed on my life by them. You feel me? That they themselves also had involvement in for the last 7 years, themselves, including artists and all that, just a mess, collusion, massive collusion. And them knowing all that, they realized, that even though I got all this testimony out here and everything, it's not making no difference. You feel me? Not at all. It make a difference for a little while, and then they start right back and come back thrice as hard. And, my life, that's what people understand. Like, my life was not, like, I did not, like my life was turned into this, you feel me? By the same, you feel me, on purpose, in order to drive me into exile or death. You feel me? I didn't choose it, and that's why my fame got so heightened at certain points in time. That's during the time when the people realized that they are involved in an illegal, racial, larceny murder. Like, I mean, it's, against a person without cause, just that, because of people that they idolize already done assimilated stuff with, what I'm saying? It's pieces of their style. Like, they assimilated my style and stuff without my permission and coercing me to accept it. You feel me? By threatening my, sustainabilities, and then they also torture me with the internal tech. So, I mean, it's a compounding situation. No person alive should be forced to have to go through this. You feel me? And instead of the people coming together about this situation, most of the time it's like it's too much passiveness. You feel me? Regarding this situation, and I mean, not to mention, it ain't even been formally addressed. You feel me? But yeah, man, the way the situation is now is it's a compounding and it's a increasing problem. Like it's getting worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I speak like this because, I ain't come on the scene as an expert or as a super tough guy. I'm only tough because of God, the Lord within me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come on the scene as an expert in any of these things. I really am a person that's been subjected to these, extreme, larger than life persecution without a cause. You know what I'm saying? For a prolonged period of time. And it's like, I mean, it far passes the shock of consciousness, but nobody is really, like, I mean, I don't really know how it's the weirdest thing. When I say I feel like the whole planet fold on purpose just so this one child, can't survive. When you've been through what I've been through, then you understand why I say that. Like, it's because at this point, a lot of stuff shouldn't be possible, but they still, it's becoming more shameless, every day. And, now people make all these applications, and then I already told them. I mean, it's queer. It's crazy. And I already explained to the world that okay, from what I witnessed, all this stuff was premeditated. The slander, the invasion of privacy, all this stuff was already pre-planned. And that's why before, it's like my fame was recognized after the torture. You feel me? The torture was first. You feel me? I was getting tortured before my fame was formally recognized like it is now. And that's from the point of my writing. Like as an author, all the way to now. It's all connected. You feel me? It's no isolated situation. What's happening that I'm not comfortable with is because of my literature. You know what I'm saying? And then how people steal my stuff. I'm not friends with these people who assimilated my stuff. I told the world 100 times already. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's when they do this psychological stuff and force these perspectives on me. Like I say, the world folded. As a civilian, as a regular person, I mean, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? Their definition of liberty and freedom and things are different than mine. You feel me? I don't see the world the way they see it because they haven't gone through what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? They don't live with what I live with. And I mean, my idea of freedom and liberty is basic human rights. You feel me? Basic human rights. to be treated like a person, equity. You know what I'm saying? To be treated like a person instead of like a piece of meat, because how people that they idolize can make money off you. You feel me? That's my definition of living, like not having, not having your life degraded or the quality of your life degraded, by even structures, just because of what somebody else can make money and profit at your expense. And I mean, so they it's like everything being overlooked. Like, like the fact that I'm right now, I'm currently in the pursuit of justice, for my legacy, like just for my legacy. I mean, it's not even being respected. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's as if the injustice or trying to stop me from pursuing justice, or, it's like obstruction, and, it's just like it's like a cornucopia of different things going on, really, man, to be honest, from multiple aspects of society. It's like it was just made while I be in a lose-lose, you feel me? It's like they play hot potato with me. There's no line between, cops and robbers anymore. There's no good and bad. You got people, I mean, they do it like that on purpose. They coerce, they even coerce some celebrities. I can witness, preach, minister, I can do all this all day long. But the situation is, it ain't getting no better. You feel me? I mean, like I say, the world has folded on purpose, and then they pretend like they for me, while also at the same time, doing things against my will, or trying to force me in directions against my will, when I explained to them clearly, hundreds of recordings, and told them repeatedly no. And then they keep imposing this exile and all this informal stuff on my life anyway. You feel me? Why they do the bare minimum about those who are responsible for it. So they're working together and crucifying the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The country can never be under God, but they constantly doing this. Like, they keep forcing this information on me against my will in everyday life. I talked about this a while back, actually. And after I told them, no, I don't want your way of life, I want my way of life. No other person, especially white, not living with like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not being forced to forfeit their rights wrongfully. You know what I'm saying? I got artists like rappers and stuff like embedded in my life, you know what I'm saying, for no reason, illegally against my will, while the whole world know it and know that I've exposed this whole situation years ago already. You feel me? I mean, before it ever snowballed to what it is now at this moment. You know what I mean? The country not under God, man. That's the last thing he can ever say. The whole idea of Christianity in America is dead. You feel me? Forever. And that was from 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That was from 3 years ago already, when it was first initially reported. They can add they whatever, but they're just as involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing as there's no justice concerning the situation. It's just that simple. I mean, it don't matter who they blame. They're doing it too. They just as involved in it, Lord. Because, I mean, for a situation of this magnitude and this gravity, you know what I'm saying? I already explained that there's no way possible that they can blame anybody for this and the people still free. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? For any reason. Or they implying that some others are above the law. You know what I'm saying? On basis and factors that other people can't control. So, I mean, but that's the situation, though. You know what I mean? And so that's what it is. If I don't forfeit my rights wrongfully, then they literally try to kill me. Quite literally. They threaten me, set me up, kidnap me, street theater me. They just doing all this stuff, structures, doing all this stuff. And that's like an exclamation point to the last 23 years of what's already was being pre-planned and premeditated. But from the last 7, I got sense enough to be able to understand on what's been going on before that point, because of what's happened since, And I know as a person what I've witnessed and been through. I mean, so they exploit my trauma that they themselves intentionally created just to have a reason and excuse to be able to ignore it later, like right now when it counts. You feel me? Anything that would protect my rights, you know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want attention on it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, anybody who contributed to trying to keep me in a position where I can't promote the gospel. they just as bad. Feel me? Just as bad as everybody else. If they trying to do the same thing that the Baphomet been doing to me for the last 23 years, you know what I mean? It's different realities. But if I'm trying to build a godly platform and things like that, and other people trying to stop me, well, if they trying to stop me, watch, you know what I mean? You feel me? Like, I don't know, man. The world folded, man. It's like the world just folded. I mean, on purpose. I mean, what can a person do? Just one civilian and all justice and everything just folded to the whim of evil people. You know, to the whim of those who hate God, anti-God. You know what I'm saying? Your blamelessness don't matter, innocence don't matter. They taking it now. They taking it off the you know, what is it? They pretty much becoming shameless with the attack that's already been happening all this time. You know, and all my grief, pain, you know, exposure, illumination, all that, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? They have a particular interest, you know, in me being able to prosper in this society. And they doing all they can to prevent that. So, I mean, at that point, what can you do as a civilian? You know what I mean? Tried everything, man. The only thing most people say is just so true. You know what I mean? I mean, that's all they say. I mean, I tell everybody what's going on. I guess, I mean, it's their only remedy to the situation is to further do what I've been fighting to keep from happening all this time. You know what I'm saying? You know, to wrongfully forfeit my rights. It's like the only solution that society got is for my rights to be wrongfully forfeited still. You know what I'm saying? Ignoring the fact that there's nobody else that's living like this, you know. So out of jealousy and greed, people try to steal my stuff, ideas, aesthetics, and everything, and they got help from the structures and the justice and civilians that's fans of them. Praise don't mean nothing in these kind of situations, feel me? I mean, it's real life for me. They try to turn my real life into a giant entertainment, you feel me, for entertainment. And torture came before the fame. That's very important.